Okay, so good day, everybody. This is Leslie Neely of I Breathe Melody. I am the owner and curator of this space, this brand new space called the Actors Atelier. I'm so excited about this. And for those of you who may not know what that term means, I borrowed that term from the fashion world because the fashion houses have ateliers, and that is a space where they curate, they design, they create, and they just come up with concepts. So my concept and idea for the Actors Atelier is to create a space where actors can come together to network, share ideas, learn. It's all about collaboration, cross pollination, and I do this in my music world as well. So thank you for tuning in today. This is brand new. I'm so excited and full of energy. I'm glad to have a few great actors in the room with me today, but our special guest is Miss Tammi Rogers. Welcome, Tammi.
Hello,
I-
hello,
I'm
hello,
so
hello, hello,
excited
darling.
to have you today because we went to high school together. You were
Yes,
on your way
we
out of
did.
high school, and I was just coming into high school, and we
Yep,
met on the
yep.
Woodlawn Gospel Choir,
Yes,
and
we did.
we still live in the same city currently. But
Yep,
who
yep.
knew that you or I were going to be doing these amazing things because we work on a global level?
Yes,
Is where we.
yeah.
So Miss Tammi, tell us a little bit about yourself, who Tammi Rogers is, and then we'll just do the conversation as it leads us.
Okay. Well, my name is Tammy Rogers, and I've been acting for about 36 years now, and I love it. And as you remember, like you said, we came up together on the choir, so I always sang
Mhm.
most of my life. So when I got introduced to acting, it was just like, I mean, I saw it and didn't see it kind of thing, you
Yeah.
know. So somebody was just, oh, I know what happened. I was in a modeling troupe, and I had just graduated high school, and I was in this group, and the guy wrote a play, and so he was like, "Okay, I wrote this play. I want you to play this part," and I was like, "Me?" he said, "Yeah." I was like, okay, well, I guess I can do it. It's just reading the script and doing it, right? So he said yes. So we did the play two separate times. And look, this I came out the box slapping people, right?
Wow.
Because in the script, I was like, does it say I slapped my sister right here? And he said, yeah. I said, oh my God, my very first play, I'm slapping people. I've been slapping people ever since.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that is amazing. So you've done film, big
I just done
screen,
film like the last 7 years.
just filmed the last 7 years. So
Mm-hmm.
before that, you did stage plays.
Yes, stage plays straight through.
Okay. Okay. So tell us about that experience because I'm
Okay.
a theater lover. So I love, the Chitlin circuit. I love those,
Yes.
those type of stage plays. Tell us about that.
Okay. Well, what happened was I, my mom was a theater goer, and so that's how I got introduced to it because she would take me to the plays that would come to town and the ones that were touring. And so every time a play came to town, she would take me to see it, and I would see it. I think the first play she took me to was
Okay.
Raisin and Sun when they made that a musical, and it was
Mhm.
called Raisin. And that was the very first time I went to see a play, and I was like 3 years old. Trying, so she had to sit me up on her lap, and to watch it. And then I saw The Wiz after that, and I really loved watching it. So we used to always say, "Oh, we're play connoisseurs, honey. We are play connoisseurs, all right? Huh? Let a play come to town. You know I'ma see it."
Right.
So that's how I got introduced to it. So then when, like I said, I graduated high school and the guy asked me to be in my first one, I was like, okay, I could get used to this. I could get used to this. But like I said, I was so used to singing. I was like, no, I don't know if I want to do this all the time though, because I want to do my singing. So then I started being in stuff that had singing. Like, oh, can you sing? Oh, you can sing. Well, okay, you can play this part right here when you sing. And I was like, oh wow, I never even thought about adding the singing and the acting together. So it's just I've been doing that ever since, girl.
Wow. Okay. So migrating from how was it transitioning from stage plays into film? Because it seems like so I'm still learning about the acting lane, the acting discipline.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems like it would be structured somewhat the same, but what were the major differences that you encountered? Because with stage plays, at least you have an audience to vibe off
Mm-hmm.
of. But with film, you have to channel that and then get in the zone
Yes.
all your
Yes.
own. Talk about that.
And see, I'm an acting coach now, so I'm glad you recognize that there's a difference between the two, because there are major differences with acting on stage. Everything is big, and you have to, because you have to make sure everybody, even the person in the last row, can hear you. So everything is real big. You got this big stage, and so everything is done on a big scale. And where film comes in, you're looking at this little tiny TV, or even if you got a big screen TV, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
TV is small, so all of your actions and stuff have to be small.
Wow.
So that's the biggest difference. And also, then of course, in film, you can say, cut, do that again. Let's go over that. With theater, it is live, and it is what it is. Whatever it comes out is what's going to go, what's going to come out. And there's no stop, cut, let's do it over. Can I do that over? No, because this is live. You get immediate gratification from the audience. So it's immediate gratification. So you got to be on point. You got to know your lines.
So let's dig into this right here. Here's Coach Leslie. Here's Coach Leslie coming into play right here. The instant gratification. I want to dig into the personage of the actor. How do you guys manage that? Because it has to be something that your person connects to when you're acting, when you get into a role. So having that instant gratification on stage with a live audience, how do you personally channel that, and how does that wear on your psyche and on your emotions? Like how does that move around in your life?
Okay, that's the difference in just being an actor and just getting up and acting. Okay, because everybody's not an actor. Some people are just up there acting. That's the difference. Because it's really people out there who think that, oh, acting is no big deal. You just read the words off the page and that's all you do. For the actor, you're looking at a character that you are responsible for bringing to life, which means those words have to jump off that page and become real life and authentic. So that's the biggest challenge for actors. How do I go about bringing this character to life so that people can forget Tammi and see whatever character I'm playing?
Wow.
So that is, like you said, that plays on your psyche a lot.
Yeah.
And if you're not secure in who you are already, this has driven some people crazy.
Wow.
Even in Hollywood. Wow. You see people, jumping off buildings and stuff, and all that kind of stuff, because they're not sure of who they are. So because they don't know who they are, when they go and try to attack becoming a character that's not even them, you know. And then you also got to look at it from, okay, what is the character that you're playing? If you're, you're playing somebody evil, okay, then you got to tap into a side that if your own character isn't evil, then you got to learn how to be evil, and then got to learn when to stop being evil and go back to you.
Wow. See, this is why I created this space to talk about this stuff, because there's a difference, and singers experience this as well. You know, Tammi, I've been singing just as long as you have. Like, there are people who know how to sing, and then there are singers. Like, just are that thing, and it's hard to separate yourself from the gift, because that's who you are, like all the time.
Exactly.
And I think that was one of the challenges. One time I was asked to try out for Dorothy and the Wiz. And I'm a lover of the Wiz itself.
Exactly.
So I was familiar with all the music and I could sing all the songs, but when it came to the lines, I would shrink back and I would laugh at the stuff, because acting was what I was trying to do. I'm not to do actor per se. I think I might find that in me though, because I got
you can. Because I believe you got it in you, honey.
I got a lot of stories to tell. Okay.
I believe you got it.
Christian made a comment. He said he had to stop singing Sammy Davis's songs for a while after the Rat Pack because that thing didn't want to let go.
Exactly. And he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Wow.
You got to know when to go back to you. Because if not, it'll take you down a rabbit hole that you may not come back from.
Wow. This is a piece of advice that I give to singers. I always tell them, when you're working on projects with the caliber of singers that I work with, when you work on a project, always have the next project waiting. Because what I personally would experience would be a low-grade depression when a project was over.
Really?
I worked, the first time I realized that's what it was, I was working on this Potter's House Denver project, and we were flying to Denver like once a month for like 4 months. And then every month we would spend the weekend up there, and it would just be a whole whirlwind of immersed in music. Then I would come home and work, but I was still learning music, go back and be immersed in music. And then I went for like a week after that and spent the whole week totally immersed in the music, the live recording and all of that kind of stuff. Set up the overdub session. That was a major thing. And when that thing was over, I was like, oh. And I did not know what to do with myself.
What to do. Yep. So it's the same thing.
Losing it. Wow.
Yeah. It's the same thing for singers. Yep. It's the same thing. It's the same thing for actors.
Should just have to keep, if that's who you are and this is your profession.
Yes. And but you gotta love it. That's the thing about it. If you don't love, that's another difference between acting and actors. Actors love it. Love it. LOVE. Love it. I mean, to the point where it's like, if I don't get paid, I'm doing this anyway, because I just love the craft. I'm not doing this to hopefully get famous. I'm not doing this to one day, be paid a whole bunch of money. You got to love the craft, because when you love the craft, then it doesn't seem like work.
Yeah.
See what I mean? But when you chasing that dollar and you chasing it and you trying to, okay, I'm gonna take this job and I'm gonna turn this down and I'm gonna do this because I want to do this job because I want to get this pay right here and this, that, and the other. That's what is gonna drive you crazy.
Yeah.
Because you got to love it. You got to. I love for it. Like, go to sleep thinking about it, wake up thinking about it. you know. So that's what adds to what you just said about having that next project in the wings waiting.
Yeah.
You know, because it'll, if you love it, it will always be work for you.
Yeah.
Out there.
Yeah.
Out there. Somebody's always going to see you. Somebody's always going to ask you to be in something. Somebody's always going to ask you to audition for something. It'll always be work for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's good. That's good
You'll
stuff.
stay working. You'll stay working.
That's good stuff. So let's talk about that while we're there.
Okay.
I am learning how to apply what I've learned all my years in church and my spiritual growth about manifestation and, you know, doing the things that you want to do. How do you stay working? One thing that I do as a singer, periodically or at the top of the year or whenever, I always have a journal somewhere. I write down what I want to do. So if I forecast, I strongly believe in writing the vision and making it plain, and it won't delay.
Absolutely.
I strongly believe in that. I write down the things that I want to do. If I want to do 3 live recordings this year, if I want to do 4 studio sessions with a B-list celebrity artist, like I write down those things. I want to be a life coach. I did, like, all those kind of things. How do you yourself, what is your way of manifesting and making sure that you keep working and doing what you love?
Okay, like you said, I make a list of, and I make a vision board.
Okay.
And so on that vision board will be, okay, I want to do so-and-so number of projects this year. Okay. And so I have a picture of it. Like I have a picture of a theater, or I have a picture of the movie theater, or I'll just and I'll say, okay, I want to do a certain amount of interviews this year. So I'll put up like a picture of me sitting with the microphone in front of me as a picture on my vision board, you know. So it's different things like that I'll put up on my vision board, and then I'll keep looking at the vision board saying, okay, what have I done this week to get there? What are the things I have mapped out to get there? And so from there, when you become working enough, especially in the DMV, when you become good enough at your craft, you know, going to casting calls, networking with people, when you get to that point, a lot of people will just come and ask you to be in stuff. You won't even have to audition a lot of times. So with me already having the vision board of knowing, like, you know, predicting, so to speak, how many, you know, plays I want to be in this year, or how many movies I want to be in this year, or what kinds of movies I want to be in, that's what takes over and then manifests. And people, I'll start getting calls, and then it'll be like, okay, I want you to be in this. And then, okay, well, may I ask, where did you see me? Oh, I saw you in a movie on Amazon Prime. Oh, okay, thank you. Okay, I just was wondering where you saw me. Then, you know, as you know, the DMV is small compared to other markets, you know. So after a while, you know, your name gets out there. And then, like I said, it just almost becomes automatic. You know, everybody wants you to do their project and bring their project to life, you know, from what they've seen you do in other people's projects. And that's how you just stay working. And then between that and also seeing casting calls yourself and submitting self-tapes, because they're doing a lot of self-tapes now since, you know, COVID and all that. And so you just constantly are sending your self-tapes in, constantly doing that. Or you're saying, okay, I want to be on a major network show, you know, things like that is what you put on your vision board. And then you work towards that.
So you have to do the work.
Hello. Nobody gonna hand it to you.
One of the things that I think a lot of younger creatives, excuse me, are excuse me, sorry, don't they are a little entitled. A lot of the work to come to them just because they are
Come to
good.
them.
But what you have to understand is that you must, and I love what you said about you doing your vision board, but then you do the things that aid in the manifestation. So I could say
just sit there and look at it.
I could say all day, I want to be a certified life coach, but if I don't take the courses, I don't take the tests.
What are you going to do it?
It's not going to happen, right? So that's good stuff right there. So let's talk about personality in the acting world and how that works for you. A lot of people, the acting lane will be new to my story about being in the singers world, but I was a mean girl.
And a mean girl? What?
But unaware that I was a mean girl.
Oh, okay.
I had no idea that I was being mean until I had some great friends come to me and say, this is why people don't call you.
Like, really?
There's never a room that I'm in that your name doesn't come up, but it's your attitude that people don't work with.
That's
it. It's like, and they knew me, but what they had to share with me was nobody gets to this part of you because of what you present first. So I did a lot. When I say I did a lot of self-work on trying to figure out why I was like this. And I figured out some reasons why. And a lot of that was just being cautious and being guarded, being extremely guarded in my life. And I'm an only child, I'm an introvert. So you put all of that in front of wanting to do something, and it's like, and then my grandmother, God rest her soul, she was very stoic in her way. And I have her demeanor, like this part of me, people rarely get to see this because the first one you get is this. She's just checking the room out. So I had to learn how to manage that and channel that. In the acting world, does your attitude and your demeanor, and as we've seen recently, one of our great sisters from Baltimore really took a lot of flack for some years because she stood her position on some things, and she's actually a sweetheart. I don't want to say her name, but she's actually a sweetheart. And she was found to be true in what she was saying. It's just her approach. So how do you manage that? I mean, you are still the same person I met in high school. Like you this is you all the time. You don't change. How does that work? Your personality affect your work?
Well, thankfully, thank you, Lord, my personality has worked in favor for me, only because like you, I'm an only child, but instead of being introverted, I've always been extroverted. So it was, my mother would say, oh yeah, she's a ham. And then I always blame her. I said, well, you was the one taking me to shows starting at 3 years old. That was you. So this is all your fault. You're the reason why I'm an actress. You're the reason. So thankfully it has been, like I said, it has played in my favor. Because like you said, I just always was a bubbly, happy go lucky kind of girl most of the time anyway. But in this business, because you're dealing with people, sometimes if you are an introvert, you have to become an extroverted introvert, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do. I absolutely do.
And that's because, this business is based on networking, relationships, people people you don't know, people you're gonna know. They just don't know yet. they're gonna know you. You know what I'm saying? So it's based on that, and you're always dealing with people. So if you have a friendly persona, I'll say, it just works out for you, because you know what the Bible say, first show yourself friendly, you know, and that's what you have to take in sometimes when you're an introvert, and you don't, sometimes, you know, you might not be, it might be just the fact that you're not smiling, but you think, oh, she looks so mean, but it was just the fact that you weren't smiling at that moment, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it's things like that you know we have to work on, like, okay, I'm gonna have to work on the facial expressions, I'm gonna have to work on this, I'm gonna have to work on that. It's just little things that you just work on to better yourself, and then you know you'll have to be, you know, make yourself extroverted even though you're introverted, but sometimes you have to play that role of extrovert.
Yeah. Yeah. I do it all the time. I'm doing it right now.
Yes, see, it's acting.
Okay, so let's
It's acting, Leslie.
talk. I see. Apparently, I do it very well.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the other opportunities in this lane, because the one thing that I try to do across discipline is to get
Mm-hmm.
people to get to the money, but
Mm-hmm.
while getting to the money, to explore the other skills that are in you. um
Mm-hmm.
with background vocalists, because I am a professional background vocalist, people
Mm-hmm.
always, well, how can I get put on? Well, how can I do this? Well, being a professional background vocalist is not all I am. It's
Exactly.
not even what I actually started doing. I actually started training choirs as a
Oh,
teenager.
wow.
That's what I start, and that's what I love to do. I still
To
like to do
do.
that. So that
Yeah.
means there are different lanes that I can move in the music industry. So in the
Mm-hmm.
acting world, I see from your IMDb profile that, because that means you're legit if you're there. Um, you are an actor, but you are also a
Mm-hmm.
producer. You're a casting
Yes.
director. You are a
Yes.
script supervisor,
Yes.
props manager, singer,
Yes.
and speaker.
Yes, ma'am.
So how would you advise someone just to explore everything that's in them, because the acting part can be the
Mm-hmm.
gateway to so many other things. Like
Yeah.
Christian, he's in here, he's an actor, but he's also a gospel artist, but he's also a songwriter, he's also a producer.
Wow.
He's
Okay.
doing different things. And
Okay.
Andromeda, who's in the room, she
Yes.
plays all lanes. I've seen her do
Exactly.
everything in that space. How do you advise people to kind of like just unpack who they are and be more?
Well, since you're not going to be acting all the time, because there are some downtime,
Mhm.
in within that, I would say explore the behind the scenes. I'll say it like that. Because behind the scenes is where you see the script supervisor. Behind the scenes is where you see the acting coach. Behind the scenes is where you see, uh, the production manager or the production assistant, stuff
Mhm.
like that. So if you can inquire on people that you've seen that they got projects coming out, hit them up and be like, hey, you need any extra people? You need, I could, possibly be a production assistant for you, or I could possibly be a script supervisor, you know, things like that. Learn the craft of acting,
Mhm.
because acting is not just when the camera's on.
Mhm.
Because even people like Denzel and them, they have downtime too.
Mhm.
And so they're doing other things when their downtime comes. That's why you'll see a lot of times you'll see Denzel go back to Broadway
Yeah.
and do a play
Mhm.
because he's not filming a movie right now,
Right.
or stuff like that. And if you probably could like sit on his shoulder for a couple of months and watch him work, you probably would see him doing all the ins and outs background stuff too.
Yeah.
Because now he's, a director and producer now, so that's what you have to do. Because when you love it, you want to find out all about it, all the lanes.
Yeah.
Now you might go and work on somebody's project and say, I ain't like production assistant. You don't have to do it again.
Right.
But at least if you put your toe in the water, you'll know.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah. You have to love it.
You have to love it. And loving it means let me find out all the lanes, as many lanes as I can find out about acting. Because you might find an area that you love more than being in front of the camera.
Yeah. 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 I did that with the music side and the recording side. I actually the live recordings and getting all dressed up and done up and got to wear heels and all that kind of stuff. That was cute for the 15 years I did it. I'm so over that part of it right now. I would rather be in a hoodie and some sneakers running around like doing logistics. Like whenever Charles Butler has a recording, he brings me in to run his logistics. And that's where I like to be. And I also found a love for caring for singers. I explained this to somebody yesterday. We were doing a CD concert and the artist just walked off and left the singers and they were like, so what do we do? And I was like, okay, everybody come this way. And I went to the artist and I said, look, I see where you're going, because this is just where it is for you.
Yes.
Why don't you let me handle the administration and the handling of singers? And that's what I started doing for him, because I knew that was a lane that needed to be taken care of.
Absolutely.
So it's all kinds of things, and now I'm working on getting paid to do that. It's a thing.
Exactly. It's a thing that you have to build up too. Sometimes, you don't come out the box all the time getting paid.
Right.
And then you never know the things that you have done for free. People remember. And so then when it's time, when they do come into their payday, it's like, wait a minute, I know Leslie, because Leslie can handle them singers right now. No, wait a minute, let me call her up.
I've been rewarded.
And so it's based on relationships. It's based on your relationships.
Yes.
And how well you know somebody.
I had this talk about relational currency a while ago and how important that is. And when I first came into the industry on my own, it was like relationships matter. You work on relationships, but people needed to have that explained to them.
What that means.
Really means. And I know in the music world, it's about getting the work done, but building authentic interactions with people. And being in the moment, so I can walk into a room and Kim Burrell will recognize who I am. Or she might not now, but
we know what you mean.
Right, recognize who I am because I've been in her spaces so many times. Times where I didn't even bother with her. I sang for her a few times, or she may have been in the audience and saw me on the stage with somebody. But then there have been times where she's come to my area and I knew she was in the back. I knew the people that could get me back there and say, hey, can I say hi to you real quick? And she spends 30-40 minutes talking to me. Like,
exactly.
That kind of authentic thing. I get a photo out every time I saw her.
Exactly.
That's not what that was about. So relational currency seems to be pretty important across the board. How does that work in the actors world? Does that work the same way?
Yes, because I'm gonna tell you a story. Somebody had sent me a casting call, right? And it was for a play that was going to be here in Baltimore. So I went, I went to the cast. First, I wasn't even going to go. I'm telling you, I wasn't even going to go. I was like, no, it's probably going to be too many people there trying to try out and all that auditioning and all that. I was like, nah, I ain't got time for that. So then a friend of mine said that they were going to go. and they weren't used to auditioning and things. So I said, okay, how about I go with you, and then we could just go and audition, together, And so he said, oh, great, that would be great. It would be great because, I don't know nothing about all this auditioning and all this kind of stuff. So I said, no problem. So what really pushed me was that I was going there to be company really for him, really. Because I'm telling you, Leslie, I sat out in the car, I tried to talk myself out of it. Because that the audition was at this big hotel, and I was like, oh man, they done booked the hotel. I was like, oh, you better believe it's gonna be a lot of people there. I was like, I don't have time for this. So then I said, no, but you told them you was gonna go. I said, all right, I go. So fast forward, we go through the auditioning process. Then if you made it through, then you got to audition right for the writer, producer, director of the play, right? And there was a stage play. And so I made it to, to the second stage of auditioning in front of the actual writer, director, producer, and everything, and director. So so fast forward, I get the little Dear John letter in the mail. Oh, thank you so much for coming out and auditioning. But right now, on, blah, 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 Dear John letter. And I'm like, okay, no problem. Because I really just went because I was pushing myself to go because I said I was going to go with him, Right. So, of course, then he gets the letter too, right? Okay, so fast forward again. I'm in another play, and the same actress that they were going to have in that play that I auditioned for, she was happened to be in the play that I was currently in. So I got a chance to meet her and everything, and her name is Deatra Hicks, right?
Okay.
From the Tyler Perry plays.
Well, I'm familiar.
So then I get this call out of nowhere after we did that play, because that same director, writer, producer came to that play and saw me in that play. And then she calls me up personally and says, hey, I know you auditioned and I know you got the Dear John letter, blah, blah, blah. But Deatra can't be here to the week of the play because, she doesn't live here. So I need somebody to play the mother, which is who you auditioned for. She says, so would you please come and audition with my cast until the week of the show, and then you can coach Deatra on what I need her to do?
Yes. Yes. I love it. I love it. I love
it. Like, what?
I love it.
So, of course, my mind is going back to when I tried to talk myself out of it in the car. But I was just like, you just don't know what God has for you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So then, like I said, so I did just that. I played the mother up until the week of the show. Then Deatra came in. I coached her through it on. So then, like about 2 years later, the lady did the play again. And this time, she had none other but As We Lay singer.
Okay. Okay.
Miss Shirley Murdoch.
Okay. I've been blessed to work with her too. Yes.
Yes. So then she calls me up again, the director, writer, producer, and says, okay, well, I don't know if you heard or not, but we're doing the play again. And so I need you to come and do the same thing. And Coach Shirley and this, that, and up. And so I'm like, I'll be there with bells on.
Right. Wow.
So that's how I got to meet Shirley Murdoch. So that the play that you were singing for behind Ursula Battles play.
Yeah.
I got to come up there. When I was trying to come up there, I was trying to see Shirley. Shirley. Yeah. So then she was like, hey, babe. I was like, hey. So I know I can relate to when you said, when you say, oh, can I, get a few minutes with so and so and so and so, because you know them. on a different level,
Yeah.
than everybody else knows them,
Yeah.
So that just goes to show you never know what God is going to allow to happen. All
Wow.
you got to do is just do the work.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
if and I think that's probably why God allowed the person who wanted to really, really audition me tell them I'll go with you, because he knew I was gonna talk myself out of it. Like, we really don't want to go in here. We really don't want to sit here with all these people, wait our turn and audition and all that. I really don't want to do it.
Wow.
And that just goes to show you, see how what can come from that. I was
Yeah.
like, who would have known doing that? I would have ended up meeting Deatra Hicks and working with Deatra Hicks and working with Miss Shirley Murdoch. Who would have thought?
That is amazing. Yeah, it's crazy because when you take chances like that, it seems to roll out. Yes, I have always wanted to do what I'm doing from a child, at least age 8. I wanted to do what I'm doing, but when I sit back and I look at my resume and I'm like, you've actually done these things that you want to
Yes.
do? Like, and
Yes, you have.
it was just it was just me taking a chance and dropping a word and saying,
Yes.
hey, whenever you do something, call me, okay? And
Call me. Yes.
life
Yes.
just opened up. So this is amazing. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna have Derek and Mita and Kenya. I'm not sure who Kenya is. I know several Kenyans, but I'm not sure if I know who Kenya is. But if you guys want to unmute and ask Tammi questions, feel free.
Okay.
I just want to say hello. I ain't got no questions. I am so busy. I'm driving. Hi to everybody. Hello. Hey,
Love you.
my sister saying I'm so extra. Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Rita. Hi, Mari.
Hi, Leslie. I'm listening to Tammi and I'm like, oh my God. It was because I met Tammi. Well, let me tell you, it's a story too. I mean, we all start because we all connected here, and everything that Tammi said is so true, so true. You've got to work so hard at your craft. I am currently in school. And yes, I mean, because I always wanted to do more. I know I had the gift, because we all have a gift. And sometimes we need to just sharpen that gift. So sometimes we need the extra tools to be with that gift. And it's not just, getting up on stage and singing a song and just, acting in a scene. But you need to know the lingo, and you need to know what to say when you get in them rooms and what to do when you get in those auditions and stuff. But Tammi is such an inspiration for me. Because of Tammi, I met some people and able to work with some people and do a lot of stuff. And I'm so excited for all that she's done. And I'm so for what Leslie's doing right now. I'm so happy to be in this room. Y'all just keep me in prayer, because I'm being in college after a certain age is no fun, but it's worth it.
Yes, it is. It's worth it.
So that's all I want to say. Love y'all.
Love you.
Thank you for being in here today.
Thank
you. This is awesome.
Kenya
or Derek, you have any questions?
Well, actually, I don't have a question, and I know Miss Tammi very well. We were in a couple of Miss Ursula plays together, and I actually know you too, because I was in Serenity House. I was Melvina in the very beginning, so that's who I am.
Oh,
yay!
So I'm always excited to hear about what Miss Tammi is doing, because she's always doing great things and I'm always paying attention. Last time she did a workshop, I missed it, but I said, not today. I will not miss this one. I will be here for the info, because this is what I love. This is what I do. And I live and breathe theater and drama. I just love it. So I had to be on here to just support. I don't really have a question. I'm just excited just to be on here listening to all the knowledge that you're giving us. This is really exciting. I'm glad to be here.
Oh, I miss you.
Oh, I miss you too. I haven't seen you in a while.
I know.
I think we did when we did was it the Christmas play? I think that's the last.
Yes.
That's the last time I saw you. When I was married, I played Virgin Mary. Yeah, that was really
Yes.
fun. Yep, that was the
Yeah.
last time I seen you. So I do miss you, and it's just exciting seeing you do big things. I'm really excited for you. I know you're
Oh,
going somewhere. You're gonna do some big stuff. Gonna see your
Oh,
name
thank
on
you.
those on the little cast reading. Your name gonna be up there. I'm gonna be watching you on TV. I already know it. I see it in you, and I can't
Oh,
wait to
thank
be able
you.
to just watch you and support you. You're welcome.
oh,
That's
Amen.
all I needed. That's all I wanted to say and say hi.
that is
Thank
great.
you.
Kenya, thank you for tuning in today. Can I add you to the Actors Atelier group if you don't mind?
Yes, please do. Please do.
So
Please do.
what's your name on Facebook?
It's Kenya Chase, Kenya Chase, Chase.
Okay. I am going to add you.
Thank you so much.
You are
Mhm.
welcome. And basically what I did was I'm a singer, but I just created I was inspired to create a space for actors to come together and just do the same thing what we're
Oh
doing right
wow.
now.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
My goal is to roll this out into something quarterly and have
Mhm.
chats like this so actors of all phases can come together and just, network,
Mhm.
support each other and just
Yes.
learn and just grow. I plan for this to be opportunity based. Like I believe
Yes.
in
That's a
reciprocal and
blessing.
Yes.
getting something out of it, whether it's learning opportunities or actually working opportunities. So
Mhm.
that's what this whole concept for me. Everything I
Okay.
do under I Breathe Melody is about learning. And
Okay. Gotcha.
Mhm.
about learning. So welcome, Kenya. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Mr. Derek, do you have any questions for Tammy?
Tammy, Tammy, Tammy. Look, me and Tammy are not strangers to one another. And Leslie, we're not strangers either. So we go
Exactly.
back a while. But Tammy and I, we go back so far. Let me tell you. I mean, we literally live up the street from one another.
Wow.
Yeah. We
Literally
grew up.
up the
We
street.
grew up.
We grew up
Yep. We
together.
grew up.
And it's
Yep.
funny because I've been acting since I was 13. And Tammy she didn't know it because
I
I was
didn't
an
know.
introvert, just like you, Leslie. Look, we sang on that Woodlawn Gospel Choir, and they wanted
Yeah.
me to sing a lead.
Yep.
I
Yep.
asked Tammy, I can't sing. Tammy, you're gonna have to coach me. See, she's been coaching before she's been acting. Tammy coached me to sing a lead on the Woodlawn Gospel Choir. I was
Wow.
just so introverted, but she saw me perform.
Years later.
Years later, she saw me perform at one of Dr. Branch's plays.
Okay.
And she was just totally shocked. She did not know I was acting. Just like you didn't know
No.
I was acting, right? Because I'm so introverted.
Exactly.
But Tammy and I, man, we've actually we've been working together and been in several films, and well, we haven't been in a play together because
Yes,
even
we
though I
have.
started off,
Yes,
we've
we
been in a
have.
play together.
Yeah, because remember you played the devil.
Oh, that's right.
Play.
So Leslie, I started out doing plays in church. That's what, and for the most part, because of my voice, I either played God or I played the devil.
The devil. Yeah.
It was God or the devil, nothing in between. So Tammy and I did our first play together when I was at First United Church of Jesus Christ.
Wow.
So,
I haven't heard that name in forever.
Right. So now
Yes.
they're called Transformation.
Yeah.
Right. So, I started in the church, and I got a lot of my experience through my uncle, who was a professional. He was in the Arena Players. And he did a lot of soap operas and different things like that, like One Life to Live and all those old soap operas. So I got a lot of my experience there. And I wasn't thinking about money or anything. I just loved the act. And it wasn't until maybe the last 10 years I understood my why. See, and that's what I wanted to share with up and coming actors. Know what your why is. Because if you understand what your why is, you're not going to act just for a hobby or just for a career. Well, you're either going to do it as a hobby or you're going to do it as a career.
Yeah.
But when you understand your why, that's when your passion really comes in there. And then you start to learn, and you start to to discover all sorts of things, whether it's, like I said, I wasn't even trying to be a casting director. Now I'm a casting director. So like Tammi said, you start exploring everything about acting.
Yep.
Not only will you be in front of the camera, you start finding yourself behind the camera.
Yep.
You know, I have people want me to write stuff. I'm like, write? I've never written anything in my life except for in school for an essay or something.
Yes.
You know?
I know exactly what you mean.
So I'm discovering things I've never done before, and I'm realizing, I'm like, wow, I can do this. So yeah, Tammi has been an inspiration to me. In so many ways, man. I mean, we just grew up together, and now we're in a film. Look, we're in a film coming up with Tammi now in a like a flirtatious, almost love scene.
Okay.
This is going to be interesting. How we're going to get into this?
I was going to say, y'all can make it through that without laughing, okay?
Yeah, right. Exactly. It's going to be funny.
Okay. Yeah, because Leslie, I invited him to join the Woodlawn Gospel Choir, girl.
Yep.
Where he found his wife, you know.
That's why I say I thank Tammi for a lot of things.
Amazing, Angela Quick. Listen,
you know, she can sing.
I keep trying to tell these young singers, y'all think y'all doing something, honey. Before there was y'all.
Yep.
It's Angie Bell. Don't do it.
Yes.
Listen.
Yes.
And I had the privilege of singing with her. Yes.
You already know, Leslie.
Yes. Absolutely. This is amazing. Derek, thank you so much. I just took the liberty of adding you to the group, Derek. So
that's fine.
You'll see us. We don't do a whole lot of talking. I'm the one that do talking in there. But we just try to just post different things and, you know, just
opportunities.
Right.
Opportunities so people can network and things like that. But it was great. I thank you for joining us today. I want to jump to Christian really quick because he is walking into a service that he has to do out there. But I wanted him to just greet you all because he's been on my singer side.
All right.
Now he's on this acting side with me, and I just want him to ask any questions or just do whatever. Hey, Christian.
Okay.
Hey, first I want to say this has been absolutely amazing and timely because I've been doing theater since 2008, and over the past since about August of last year, some opportunities have been opening up on the television side. And so getting to hear your knowledge and your wisdom, in particular, how to make that transition has been very, very beneficial. And so and those were a lot of the questions that I had that you answered without me even having to ask. And so that was really, really great. But I do want to know, you know, when it comes to, you know, opportunities, because I'm one that, you know, operates off the mindset that, you know, it has to make sense. You know,
yes.
I'm not one of those, you know, I don't turn down much because I try to look at everything as an opportunity, especially when you're growing. But when you're launching into an unknown territory or a new field, how do you know what opportunities to take versus the ones that are like, you know what, even though I want the experience, even though I want the opportunity to have it on my resume, this isn't quite gonna, this doesn't make sense. How do you differentiate something you should bypass versus something you should go ahead and take?
Okay, you should really, that's when your due diligence comes in, and you should really make sure that you do research on the people. For instance, if you got an opportunity, you know, from a particular director, go and look them up. See what's out there about them. That's where your networking comes in really, really handy. Because, for instance, I always tell those who are closest to me, who are actors, I said, don't you sign up for their play, their film, unless you ask me about the director or the writer, because I may have already had an experience with that person and I could kind of steer you away, or I could say, oh, go for it. They got all their boxes checked. They good to go. Because there is some people that if you don't get some research or some information about, you're going to waste your time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing this kind of.
I bet everyone.
Yeah, it's funny that a lot of this is, I'm seeing a lot of this is mirroring, because I'll do the same thing if I get invited to sing somewhere for a pastor or for a
Same
concert
thing.
or for.
Yep.
I will call a lot of my acquaintances and be like, hey, I saw that you were on the lineup for them, a couple of months ago. How did it go?
Exactly. How was your experience? Nothing is wrong with that question. How was your experience? Now that way you eat the meat and leave the bones.
Yeah.
Because they can tell you a bad experience with that person. Doesn't mean you're going to have that same bad experience. But if you have talked to enough people and enough people had enough bad experiences,
yeah,
then my red flag going up.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Derek did add in the chat to understand your why. Yes. And Tammi, you mentioned that earlier. My last in-person workshop was what's your why? And if you're sure on what your why is, and that changes over time.
Yes.
But if you're clear on what your why is, if it does not line up with this opportunity, it's an automatic no.
No, exactly.
The automatic
exactly.
No.
Because without going into specifics, there is an opportunity that has come up within the next few months, and with this particular company, and I've been looking them up. I've called some friends of mine who work in the producing field and so I've been trying to feel them out.
Okay.
But I'm still in the area of trying to see if this is gonna make sense.
Okay. Well, make sure it makes sense, like you said, to yourself. Don't just do it just to be doing it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of opportunities are going to come. Is it an opportunity for you? Is the question.
Yeah.
Is that your opportunity? That's the question.
That's good.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
I am going to take that. Thank you so much. Christian, did you have any more questions?
No, that was it. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for joining us. This was amazing, guys. So we made
I love it. I love it. I love it.
And my plan is to do this. I can say quarterly, but I tend to be a bit spontaneous. Yeah. So if I get in the mood, like Andromeda is up next, she just learned that just now. I am definitely going to do these as often as I am led to.
All right.
Because it's just necessary that we talk. We come from an era where we were mentored, and I think we don't even realize we were being mentored. Yes. A lot of us got mentored in church or Woodlawn Gospel Choir or through other ways. We got mentored, and mentoring, people are running from it. They don't want nobody to tell them what to do or show them the way, but
because they know so much, right?
Yeah, and know nothing at all.
At all.
So I definitely, as these mentoring moments come up and Coach Leslie emerges and she just wants to help the people, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to do.
Thank you so much. It's been my honor.
Tammi, I'm so glad I'm telling you, our pre-conversation, this is all so therapeutic for me today. It's thrown me into a whole nother headspace. I'm actually about to go to Walmart now and find my sugar-free popsicles and my biotin vitamins so my hair don't fall out.
There you go. There you go.
So I thank you for your time today after your acting schedule, because you've already filmed today.
Yes, ma'am.
Look at you being a consummate professional.
I love it. I love it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mita, Derek, and Kenya, and Christian for stopping in today. I am going to review this recording, and then as I feel led to share, I will share it with you guys in the group. but I may post it to my YouTube channel depending on
Okay.
what it gives. I'm sure it'll go up though, because it's good stuff.
Yeah. And then after you do that, you show me how to post it to
Yes.
my YouTube channel.
Yes, I sure will. So everybody stay here, but I am going to end the broadcast. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you need to follow, I'm telling you, you need to follow our guest actor today. Tammi, how can they follow you on social media?
Well, I am on Facebook. I'm Tammi Rogers, TammiRogers. On Instagram, I'm actor Tammi Rogers. That's ACTOR TAMMIROGERS. And then on YouTube, my YouTube channel is actor Tammi Rogers.
Okay. We all commit to following you today. So your likes and your follows will go up by 3 or 10 or 100 today in Jesus' name.
All right.
Whoever
Amen.
this, we're all going to follow you. We're going to go to your YouTube page and put your numbers up.
Yes.
Today, thank you so much. And until
You're
next time, this
welcome.
is Leslie Neely, owner of I Breathe Melody and curator of the Actors Atelier. It's up. Yay! Thank you guys. Have a great day.